Hi everyone, this is Dr. Peggy Semingson and it's Poetry Through the Pandemic. I'm reading classic poetry to get us through these tough times. Tonight I'm reading two poems by the English poet William Blake. The first is My Pretty Rose Tree. A flower was offered to me, such a flower as May never bore. But I said, I've a pretty rose tree, and I passed the sweet flower over. Then I went to my pretty rose tree, to tend her by day and by night. But my rose turned away with jealousy, and her thorns were my only delight. Okay, the second poem I'm reading is one of my favorites from when I was a teenager, and it was called The Garden of Love. And I used to read this poem over and over and over. And I had a big book of the collected poems of William Blake, and this one was by far my favorite. I laid me down upon a bank where love lay sleeping. I heard among the rushes dank, weeping, weeping. Then I went to the heath and the wild, to the thistles and thorns of the waste. And they told me how they were beguiled, driven out and compelled to the chaste. I went to the garden of love and saw what I never had seen. A chapel was built in the midst where I used to play on the green. And the gates of this chapel were shut, and thou shalt not writ over the door. So I turned to the garden of love that so many sweet flowers bore. And I saw it was filled with graves, and tombstones where flowers should be, and priests in black gowns were walking their rounds, and binding with briars my joys and desires.